And the engineers are like, we have to build it. And like all these people with their crazy designs. And it kind of feels like what vibe coding is going to allow, like what will change is that like designers can suddenly build workable prototypes. And so like there's a whole degree to which like this allows a group of people within a company to kind of like seize the means of production in a way that I think might be like deeply disruptive to kind of like the natural state of affairs that has kind of presided over these companies. And that feels like it's going to be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it can go both ways though, because I think designers or whoever is trying to test the waters and who always say, "Oh, go build this." It should be easy. Just put this button over there and then you'll be fine. And that button should do all these other things, by the way. And it also needs to be compliant XYZ. And so they'll try it and undoubtedly it will fail if they just kind of vibe code and throw it out into the world. When it hits real production and learn some pretty nasty lessons that it's actually really complicated and there's a lot of important work that developers are doing behind the scenes. So I think it's just going to probably be really important though as a communication tool to help better articulate vision, to help better explain what you're looking for or what the target goal is, to help iterate faster on proof of concepts and experiment faster. So I think it definitely will disrupt from those perspectives.
Yeah, and it actually occurs to me as you're talking that like the annoyance will work both ways, right? Because suddenly engineers can be like, "Oh, I generated this picture of the website I wanted you to create." It's like everybody's going to be Aaron in like in everybody else's business. It seems like Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, this whole notion of vibe coding to me is very similar to inventing, right? Because it's you get lots of people together, and you need different perspectives. You need the artfulness of creating novelty, but you also need the engineering to make sure it's implementable and it can be used in some kind of embodiment, right? And vibe coding to me is very similar, where you get the creatives together. It's a blur. It becomes more of a blur where the scientist and creative now become one, right? Because you're vibing to sort of do like this vibe science or vibe engineering, to have these alternative hypothesis. It's like exploring different branches very quickly. And then when you need to get into an embodiment, then you build, right? And then implement, so I think some of the white space here would be, how do we connect vibe coding to the actual build, implementation, right? And deployment of something that's practical, that's usable, that can handle high scale and load, some of the really hard challenges, right, that we face every day, right? So I'm pretty excited about that area.